Okay, so I'm rigging up this thing so that I can show you how to draw the notes on a staff for kids or for anybody really. This is learning the kind of the notes on a treble clef staff. So what I'm doing is continuing the video that I filmed several years ago actually that got like now at like 24,000 views, which thanks guys, that's amazing. So the video that I made that got so many hits was a video that I had done back when I was still teaching music for elementary kids, and I taught elementary music for 10 years, and now I'm up here in Champaign studying. I'm getting my PhD in education. And one of the things that I really, the reason why I taught drawing, actually doing this way, is that there are a lot of like ways that music teachers do like teach drawing notes on a staff that use like mnemonic devices, like Every Good Boy Does Fine and that kind of thing. And I find that a little bit problematic only because it gives kids like one more thing to memorize. And if they get that wrong, then they get the whole thing wrong kind of a thing. So what I do is I either have the kids draw the 5 lines on the staff, or I give them a staff or whatever. And then in the previous video, I had shown them how to draw what I call a G-clef. It's a treble clef, but some people call it a G-clef as well. And I explained to them why I call it that way. So from the original video, I had taught them, and this was it was a video I had made for my first graders because I was going to be like away at a conference, and I wanted the substitute to be able to give them something that they could practice so that I could come back in and continue with that lesson. Which in that video I had said I'm going to explain why it's called a G-clef when I come back, which I did. But I didn't actually ever make the next video. So here is how I explained how to draw a G-clef, which is I would always kind of go like, okay, start at the top and draw a line all the way through. Whoop, and the kids would always kind of copy me when they would do that. Somebody made a comment in the comment section of my video, like, doesn't it have to have a loop at the bottom? Well, no, it doesn't. There's no requirement. I mean, you can if you want to, but I never do. It takes extra time. Then you start back up at the top and you make a like backwards C down to the 4th line. And we go over that. This is line number 1. You start at the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you always are kind of telling the kids kind of the geography of what, of where you are. This is line 1. This is space 1, right? So that they're always knowing where you're referring to. Then you continue the line on this side and make a big curve all the way down to the 1st line. And that this is the most important part here. The 2nd line is where you curve it around, because that's the G line. And this is actually like an ancient form of the letter G. And that's why it's called the G-clef, because it goes around the G line, and that is hugely important in this whole process. If you don't have it around the G line, it's technically not a treble clef. It is not a G-clef, and this whole entire thing is wrong. So this is very important right here. If you know where the G line is, and of course if you have your G-clef in the right place, then you can find every single note on the staff, and that's what this whole lesson is about. So what I do is I usually have them start right around kind of near the center of the staff that we've made, and I have them draw a circle around the G line. I say draw a circle around the G line. And kind of make it an oval instead of a circle. And sometimes I draw it and they're like, that's not a circle, that's an oval. Great, fantastic, you're super smart and amazing. Okay, fill it in. And underneath, what letter is it again? G. Okay, great. That's G. Lovely. What is the letter in the alphabet that comes before G? F. Lovely. Before this, in this first space, I want you to draw an oval. That is F. Did I go down or up? Down. Okay, great. What's the letter before F? E. Lovely. Where did I put that? On the line. Which line? The 1st line. Okay, I'm always trying to make sure that they're naming where we are. Great. Okay, where do you think I'm going to put the next letter? Oh, where is it going to go? We ran out of spaces. Where should I put it? And they usually can figure out that depending on like language and stuff, they'll say under the what, and then we have to figure out under the staff, right? Under this line or something like that. So I put it right here. Great. It's in a space still though, right? Because there's a pattern. Like sometimes kids get really into patterns, so they're figuring out line, space, line, space. What letter is this? D. What do I need? Do I need a line or a space next? You need a line. I'm out of lines. What do I do? And like sometimes you'll have like a really brilliant kid who's like, draw your own. Okay, great. I will do that. Draw my own. Draw a circle around it. That is what letter? C. We call this middle C, and sometimes I'll write middle C here. We'll talk about that later. Moving on. I need these to be filled in. What's the next letter after G? And they go H, and I'm like, that's beautiful. Don't draw anything yet. There's no H in music. And they're like, what? And I'm like, I know, we have to start all over again. What letter should it be? And usually they figure out that it's A. That's brilliant. So I draw it in the space, and I ask them to identify. This is the second space. This is A. Okay, and then we continue on, always making them make sure to remember that we're going space, line, and identifying which one it is. This is the third line. This is the third space. This is the fourth line, right? So this is C, this is D, and we can keep going all the way up if we want, but we could just stop with C and have like the C major scale, or we could go all the way up the whole entire staff. But this is how I teach learning how to put notes on a staff with relation to the G-clef. I never have to have my kids do the cheating thing with the EGBF, or EGBDF, or the, like all that kind of stuff. Like every good boy does fine, or the FACE, or any of that. Like they never have to do that, because they're always, from that point on, relating to the staff by where the G is, and they know where things are. They start relating it to, okay, here's G, and this is where everything else is. And it's in my opinion, just a much more organic process. So I hope that helps. Let me know in comments or whatever if you agree, disagree, or and having them build that with you is always just, it's a little bit more of an authentic process. And my kids have always responded quite well to it, and they learn how to read music very fast in this way. Thanks so much. Thanks for watching.